Ahava Blessings. Welcome to this episode of Embodying the Shekhinah. This podcast is here to support us, to guide us during these times of incredibly intense ascension energies that are shifting the field of our earth and our own magnetic field, because our magnetic field is no different in essence than that of the earth or that of a tree. We are all energy, and these energies are impacting our energetic field in our physical bodies. And so I offer this podcast in order to give us some insight on the energies that are working with us at this time to support us in this ascension journey, to support us in remembering, embodying, and truly restoring ourselves to our true nature, our soul essence, that part of us that is infinite. This is what we are connecting with through this sound activation and through this energetic update. For those who are new, welcome. And for those who have been following me, welcome back. I know it's been a few weeks since my last episode on Kislev, the cycle of Sagittarius, and we're about to come into a new cycle, which is just as powerful and beautiful and restorative. And as we are still in this cycle of Kislev, and today is the 12/12 portal, Shabbat Blessings as well, I am going to share some insight on the significance of this 12/12 portal and on what these energies today in particular have for us. For those that don't know me, my name is Aurea. I am an ordained Magdalene priestess, a Reiki master, energy and sound alchemist. And the 12/12, sometimes these portals feel like they just come out of nowhere. And that all of a sudden people are aligning to this portal. However, the 12/12 is a portal, as whenever we see repeating numbers, they're symbolizing a message. However, this one goes deeper because this one has to do with the Guadalupe, as it is the feast day of the Virgin of the Guadalupe. And it also has to do with the Black Madonna, and it has to do with the Magdalene. Let's start with what the 12 symbolizes. The 12 across all pantheons, all lineages, the 12 brings us into completion. The 12 is about cycles. There are 12 cycles in the zodiac, astrological cycles, although now we are seeing the 13. The 12 is about the structure and the discipline and the masculine side, as the 13 being the feminine. There are 12 apostles, there are 12 months in the year, the 12 tribes of Israel, lost tribes. So there's a lot of significance across many, many lineages of the 12. The 12 is a number that has to do with manifestation, with cycles, as I mentioned, with completion. And this is a 9-year, which is all about endings and beginnings and completing the cycle. And as we work through the solar 12 cycles of the year, because there are 12 solar months and there are 13 lunar months, it's important for us to understand that the 12/12 has that masculine energy of action, of doing, of aligned action. Let me refine that. Aligned action. Why do I say aligned action? I say aligned action because we can take action from a place that is dysregulated, from a place that is out of fear, out of chaos, out of just wanting to do something, And that action is not an action that's truly going to have an impact. And we're often going to have to work harder because we are working in the energies of fear. We're working in the energies of anxiety. We're working in the energies of thinking that we have to compare ourselves. So we're doing what we think we need to be doing in order to one-up something or someone else. It's not about your soul. When I speak of aligned action, I speak of coming into your heart and truly asking for the wisdom from your higher self, from your angels, from the ascended masters, from the light beings, from your infinite self that is connected with the divine, from that perspective, and taking action from that larger, more holistic, more all-encompassing perspective. So the 12-12 is about that manifestation that comes through the discipline, the alignment, the aligned action, and allowing ourselves to receive the wisdom of the masculine. The masculine in our society has been incredibly vilified to the point that nowadays it's very, very difficult to see a healthy masculine energy in this world. And there, thankfully, are a lot of men that are holding a beautiful divine masculine template. And it has to do, in my observations, it has to do with our having swung the pendulum so far, women having been oppressed, women having not had rights, being treated as chattel and property, etc. And for whatever reason, as a reaction to that ostracizing, that neglect, that disrespect that has been incarnated in the feminine, we have swung the other way, thinking that we don't need men, thinking that a strong woman is one who has absolutely zero need for men. And that is not healthy. It's not healthy because every human being, doesn't matter what you think you identify as, which is another kettle of fish I'm not getting into right here. It doesn't matter what you identify as. It doesn't matter what embodiment you're in. Every being on this earth, this may not apply in other dimensions, other planets, but on this earth, every being has a masculine and a feminine polarity within. These two energies, when I speak of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, I speak of energy. These two energies are designed to work together to further creation, to expand creation, to expand embodiment of your soul, of your mission, the unfolding of your purpose. These energies are supposed to work together. When you vilify one, you vilify the other. Doesn't matter if you think you're worshiping the goddess. If you vilify the masculine, you are vilifying and undermining the feminine, and the opposite is true. If you vilify and think the feminine is worthless and a woman's testimony is worth half of a man's, or whatever nonsense I'm hearing recently, if you think that women are here to serve you, you also are undermining the masculine by disrespecting the feminine, because you cannot have wholeness, integrity, resonance, integration on this physical earth plane without the integration of the two energies that make this earth work. The earth herself has her cycles. She has her moments when she's active. She has her moments when she's receptive and quiet and still. And she ebbs and flows. The waters ebb and flow. Your body ebbs and flows. Everything in creation has a cycle, has a frequency, has an energy, has a flow and a method, so to speak, to its madness. Even that which we do not understand, and even that which we do not want to understand, which is two different things. So when we choose to align to a portal, like the 1212, many people are talking about how it's about manifestation. I'm going to call bullshit on that, because it's not about manifestation. Every single being, all of us, we're so concerned, overly concerned with the manifestation of whatever we're trying to birth, that we lose sight of the process, how, why we are birthing something into existence. That is far more important than the actual manifestation of it. When we focus on the outcome, we limit the expression of what we wish to manifest. We limit it because our mind is limited. So if we are going by our ego, which is even more limited than the mind, this is what we're doing. We are limiting that which we wish to birth into existence. And that creates issues for all of us. Because our desire, our Kundalini energy, our sexual creative energy, that life force within us that is seeking to expand and seeking to express, your body is the vessel for that expansion of your energy, of your soul, of your embodiment. Your body is the vessel for that. If your body is not ready, if your mind is not ready, if your emotions are not ready, then you can continue to do and do all the things and think you're going to manifest, and you may manifest something. However, what you manifest is not going to be in integrity and in alignment with your soul. And when something that is manifest in the physical plane is not in integrity, is not in alignment with your soul, it is going to vanish as quickly as it appeared. And you're going to be left feeling empty and feeling why? Feeling, I don't deserve this, feeling all kinds of ways. This is why during these portals and during every day, we as spiritual beings, as energetic beings having this human experience, should cultivate a practice to bring us back into wholeness, into alignment, into an open receptivity that allows us to receive the information, the wisdom that we need in order to take aligned action to manifest the embodiment of our soul gifts, of the manifestations that our soul desires to birth into being. Those manifestations are aligned with the attributes of the divine: beauty, grace, goodness, kindness, expansion, wisdom, love, unity, freedom, sovereignty. These are some qualities of the divine. And when we think that we can control things, that's when we get in trouble. I mentioned that this portal has to do with the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna is the hidden wisdom. She is the Magdalene. She is Guadalupe, the dark-skinned virgin that appeared to Juan Diego in Mexico. And the energy of the Guadalupe is an earthy energy of divine love. And I just saw 4. Grounding. So she is the grounding of the divine feminine wisdom, the hidden wisdom that was not ready to be revealed up until when it is ready to be revealed. The Magdalene energy is the energy of the unseen, of the hidden wisdom that is being revealed at this time. And the Magdalene energy began coming back into the earth realm with the apparition of Guadalupe in, I think it was 15 something? You can look it up if you feel called for that. I do want to say, when I speak of the Black Madonna, we're not speaking of a dark goddess. There's no such thing. Because the goddess is not light or dark. It's only on this physical plane of duality where we can have those distinctions. But in the purest form, the goddess is neither. It's neither and all of the above at the same time, which is trippy because the human mind cannot comprehend that. However, back to what I'm saying about the Black Madonna. The Black Madonna has to do with the embodied, hidden, the wisdom of the feminine that is revealing itself. And wisdom reveals itself when we are ready to receive it. Because that's the thing about wisdom. We can seek it, and it may be right in front of our nose. However, if we do not actually open ourselves, if we do not prepare the vessel, if we don't know what we're doing, all of that light that we can receive will burn us, and we don't want that. And this is why wisdom remains hidden for a time. And it has quite a bit to do with why myself, like, you haven't really heard from me, even though I've said this is going to be a weekly podcast, and for a few years it's been very consistent. However, I've been feeling this energy very, very strongly that it is time to pull back a bit, to go within, to allow myself to be that open vessel and not so much be always in, always trying to receive something that I convey and not allowing enough time for the integration of what has been conveyed. I think we all fall into this trap where we want to receive the wisdom, we want to know, we want to do. However, we don't give ourselves time to sit with what we have received. And the point of the only way truly that we will expand is through embodiment. And embodiment comes with sitting with what we have received, sitting with the wisdom, sitting with the pain, sitting with the loss, sitting with the anger, sitting with the betrayal, sitting with it. We are trained as a humanity to constantly be seeking to move on to the next thing as quickly as possible, without care for the fact that your energy field, your emotional body, your mental body needs time to process. And we all process in different ways. There is no one right way to process. We have to find the way that fits us the best. For me, when I'm processing something, I need to write it. I need to speak it out. And then I need to come into my body and feel it in my body. And oftentimes that ends up in tears. I'm a Cancerian. That's simply how I let go of energy. When I'm letting go of energy, I cry. And sometimes I cry when I'm mad. I cry when I'm happy. I'm not always crying, but it's the way that my body lets go of energy. And for other people, it might be a spontaneous amount of laughter. It might be bodily functions. However we process, that's exactly what we need to be doing. For me, what has come up, because I've been going through this period where I'm bringing forth something very, very special. And it's something that I've always, well, not always, it's something that has recently come into my awareness as something that is part of my soul's design, my soul's expansion. And it's going the way it needs to be going. And yet for me, it involved looking at different parts of myself in order to prepare the way. So in many ways, I have been living this energy of this Kislev cycle of going within, of preparing. We're also, remember, we're coming into the end of the year. And what's interesting is how we as a society have made this time of winter, of the depths of winter, into a time where we have to be the most outward focused. We have to go to all the parties. We have to do all the things. We have to dress up the house and dress up ourselves and eat all this food and have all these presents and this go, go, go. And yet it's exactly the opposite of what we should be doing during this time. Because as a collective humanity, we follow the cycles. Our ancestors have followed the cycles for millennia. And I really, really doubt that when we were in our ancient communities of hunter-gatherers, that we were throwing parties in the middle of December. I'm pretty sure that did not happen because it sounds ridiculous. Think about it. Put an objective lens on this. If we, as a humanity, when we are supposed to be preserving, renewing, restoring, rebirthing ourselves, it's the dead of winter, it's cold, we have limited food stores. What we really have at this time is community. And in this community, we go within, we tell stories, we share. But it's not an outward, we must do this or must do that. No, it's we come together as community and we open ourselves to receive what is coming through. And then we go within to integrate and embody that wisdom. That's what we do. We don't go out and drink ourselves silly, pass out on hallucinogens, which did exist in ancient times. We didn't do all that without a clear purpose, without a clear time to do it, which oftentimes, specifically for entheogens, these hallucinogenic plants, you would do them once in your lifetime. Once. That was it. And the preparation was not a dieta for 6 months or a month or whatever it is that they do. No, your preparation was your entire life until you got to that point of that ceremony. And then your integration was the rest of your life. There was no, I'm going to do this every 6 months. I'm going to microdose this. There was none of that. That's us as a modern humanity not knowing how to respect, how to value, how to integrate, and not being willing to integrate what we have received. You don't integrate the information that you receive from these powerful plant medicines, plant teachers. You don't integrate that in a month or a day or 6 months or even a year. It takes time. And we have cultivated such an out of balance humanity that we think everything has to be right here and right now. And I'm speaking to myself as well. And no, everything has its time. Everything has its purpose. And everything has its cycle. And the way that we come back into integrity with our soul, with the divine, is by learning how to honor these cycles, by peeling back the layers of anger, of resentment, of guilt, of shame, of blame, of victimhood. There's a lot of that going around right now. Everyone seems to think that they're a victim of something. Something is oppressing them. The only thing that's oppressing you is your own mind. That's it. The only thing that is oppressing you is your own mind and your own dogmatic belief system. Nothing outside of you can oppress you if you know who you are. If you know who you are, you're in alignment with your soul and the divine. Nothing outside of you can oppress you. Now, if you are in the ego thinking that, well, I believe this, so I'm somehow better than so-and-so, that's not enlightenment, darling. That's not ascension. To know, to feel, to live as if you know nothing. And every moment you are learning, you are expanding, you are humbly receiving the wisdom that your soul needs in this moment to persevere, to expand, to grow. That is to live this ascension path in a way that honors and is in integrity. Yes, many atrocities have been and are being committed. Are we going to continue perpetuating them with our own ignorance, willful ignorance? Or are we going to be that light, embody and share and radiate your light, knowing that sometimes it's not up to you. It's not up to any one of us to save everything or everyone or anyone. Because a savior complex is inherently rooted in arrogance. You think that your way of being, doing, feeling, believing, whatever, is better, is superior to something else. That is what has caused the great atrocities in humanity. The Inquisitions, the colonialism, which is still going on, but right now it's happening by brown people. So again, if it's not right for one set of people, it's not right for another. And it's hypocritical of us to defend the same thing that is happening now, but to condemn what happened 200 years ago or 500 years ago. It's ridiculous. And when we can learn to be aware enough, self-aware enough to catch ourselves in our own bullshit, that's when we can live in integrity, in sovereignty, in freedom. Because we're embodying the wisdom we are receiving. We're giving ourselves the space and the time and creating that container to embody and to birth the light that you came here to birth. Every single one of us came here with a mission, with a purpose, with a soul contract to experience and to be and to do and to expand in these ways, or to be given the opportunity to expand in these ways. Let me rephrase that, because we do have free will. We chose the experiences to give us the opportunity, give the soul the opportunity to live them in order to expand in these ways. And there's always choice. So on this 12/12 portal, as we are coming in, Neptune is finally direct. Thank you. Neptune can be a little tricky. It's the soul completely unencumbered by the body, but Neptune can be a little deceptive, or a lot, depending on what it's doing at the time. We have the Comet 3i Atlas coming really close to the Earth. We have the solstice coming. We have the new moon that's coming. marking the new lunar cycle that is about to begin. Now is the time for us to address, to heal, to bring light to those parts of us ourselves, those cycles that need completion, those wounds that we've been carrying, those hurts, those patterns that we've been reliving. Now is the time to take them, allow them to show you what they need to show you. Every emotion is valid. It is what we do with these emotions that matters. How we use them. Do we allow them to consume, to destroy us? Or do we allow them to elevate us? Do we allow them to feed our light, to nurture our expansion? Or do we allow them to launch us and plunge us into chaos and dissolution? We have that choice if we have the awareness to look at ourselves. Just because someone or something looks or feels like us does not mean they are the same. Doesn't mean they are in integrity, in alignment. It does not mean that it is in resonance. It doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't necessarily always mean it's bad. And each one of us needs to come into alignment with what is in integrity for us. What is in resonance? What creates harmony and expansion and joy for each one of us? So on this 12/12 portal, during this time as we're building up into the solstice, into the new lunar cycle, give yourself the space to see clearly. Now that Neptune is finally moving forward, allow yourself to see clearly what is happening in front of you. What is your life? What is the current state in your experience and how it needs? What does it need? What does your current experience need to expand? Is there something you need to heal? Is there something you need to let go of? Is there something you need to address? Is there love and beauty and grace that needs to be brought to a situation? Is there forgiveness? So many of us need to forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves. And this is this time. Now is the time to complete those cycles. When we complete those cycles, we open ourselves to receive the new. So now we are in that final moment of completion, of bringing into closure all that we have been working on in order to step into a new facet of ourselves. So give yourself this space. Don't forget to enjoy the sound activation and breathe. Cultivate stillness as much as you can during this time. I know that it's hard. We all have responsibilities and family and so many things going on. But give yourself a few moments each day to come into your heart. Just do some deep breathing and come into your heart. Allow yourself to be guided to receive the wisdom from your higher self, and allow yourself to heal and bring completion to those parts of our lives and ourselves and experiences, emotions that are ready. They're ready to be integrated and to bring you to that new level. Have a blessed portal, Ahava. If you enjoyed this, like, share, subscribe, follow. 5-star reviews are always wonderful. And don't forget to tune in to the sound activation. Have a blessed Shabbat. Ahava.